Patterns in nature, definitions and examples. There are a lot of things that we can see around us, from small particles that we can only see with the use of a microscope, the gigantic things that are far to us, so we need to use the telescopes, from simple to complex, bright to dark, and big and small. One of the most intriguing parts of it is the pattern. We tend to think that the patterns are sequences or designs that are in order or something that is repeating. But we can also think of patterns as something that is not random. For instance, you can see this hyena, but its spots are not that aligned like a snowflake or a starfish, so the pattern can be random. So let's talk to the different kinds of patterns.
First is symmetry. Symmetry is when different sides of something are alike. Example of which is the apple cut in halves. We can see that there is a possibility that the sliced apples are symmetrical to each other. Another example is a body facing a mirror, the faces of Rubik's Cube. In order to live in this world, it is a must to have a symmetrical body so that you won't just fall over because of an imbalanced weight. Another question that still lingers in our mind is how a non-living thing has a perfect symmetry, like the snowflakes that have a six-fold symmetry. Another example is the splash of a water droplet is also symmetrical. There are other types of symmetry: mirror symmetry, three-fold symmetry, four-fold symmetry, five-fold symmetry, six-fold symmetry, and rational symmetry.
Second is the fractals, and fractals are the never-ending patterns that repeat indefinitely as the pattern is iterated on a indefinitely smaller scales. We can see the pattern in trees, rivers, mountains, shells, clouds, and leaves, lightning, and many more. Third is the spirals. Spirals are the most common in plants and in some animals. Notably in mollusks, for example, is the nautilus, a cephalopod mollusk. Each chamber of each shell is an approximate copy of the next one, scaled by a constant factor and arranged in the logarithmic spiral, given a modern understanding of fractals. A growth of a spiral can be seen as a special case of a self-similarity plant. Spirals can be seen in Phyllotaxis, the arrangement of the leaves on the stem, and the arrangement of other parts as in composite flowers, heads, and seed heads, like the sunflower or fruit structures like the pineapple and snake's fruit, as well as in the pattern of scales in pine cones where multiple spirals run both clockwise and anti-clockwise. The arrangement have explanation at different levels: mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, each individual correct but all necessary together.
Chaos, flow, and meanders. In mathematics, a dynamical system is chaotic if it is highly sensitive to initial conditions which require the mathematical properties of topological mixing and dense periodic orbits. Chaos theory ranks as an essentially universal influence on patterns in nature. There is a relationship between chaos and fractals. The strange attractors in chaotic systems have a fractal dimension. Vortex streaks are zigzagging patterns of whirling vortices created by the unsteady separation of flow of a fluid. most often air or water, over obstructing objects. Meanders are sinuous bends in river or other channels which form as a fluid. Most often, water flows around bends. As soon as the path is slightly curved, the size and curvature of each loop increase as helical flow drags material like sand and gravel across the river to the inside of the bend.
Waves and dunes. Waves are disturbances that carry energy as they move. Mechanical waves propagate through a medium air over water, making it oscillate as they pass by. Wind waves are sea surface waves that create the characteristic chaotic pattern of any large body of water. Through their statistical behavior can be predicted with wind wave models. As waves in water or wind pass over sand, they create patterns over ripples. When wind blow over large bodies of sand, they create dunes, sometimes in extensive dunes field as in the Taklamakan Desert. Dunes may form a range of patterns including crescent, very long straight lines, stars, domes, parabolas, and longitudinal or safe sword shapes. Tessellations are patterns formed by repeating tiles all over a flat surface. There are 17 wallpaper groups of tilings, while common in art and design. Exactly repeating tilings are less easy to find in living things. The cells in the paper nest of social wasps and the wax cells in honeycombs built by honeybees are well-known examples.
Cracks are linear openings that form in materials to relieve stress. When an elastic material stretches or shrinks uniformly, it eventually reaches its breaking strength and then fails suddenly in all directions, creating cracks with 120-degree joints. So three cracks meet at the node. Leopards and ladybirds are spotted. Angelfish and zebras are striped. These patterns have an evolutionary explanation. They have functions that increase the chances that the offspring of the patterned animal will survive to reproduce. One function of animal patterns is camouflage. For instance, a leopard that is harder to see catches more prey. Another function is signaling. For instance, a ladybird is less likely to be attacked by predatory birds that hunt by sight if it has bold warning colors and is also distastefully bitter or poisonous or mimics other distasteful insects.
Those are all the patterns in nature and its examples. I hope that you learned something new today and have a nice day. Thank you for watching.